Hello, in this tutorial I'm going to be going over triggers. I'm going to use two examples, a transportation trigger and a trigger that spawns AI. We're going to go over the trigger that spawns AI first. So, place down your trigger. Let's place down a zombie. And in the trigger priorities, under if used, change it to whatever you like, AI1. I'm going to use that as an example. Apply changes. Now for the zombie, we're going to change his name from male zombie ordinary to AI1. And then we have to make it so he doesn't spawn at start. So what we did is we said when the player enters the zone, it's going to trigger AI1. This zombie's name is AI1, and he has to be triggered in order to spawn. So, with that synergy, it's going to spawn him. We're going to hit apply changes. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Now, a good little tip is that you could extract this zombie, hold down the shift key, and left click. And it will copy a whole bunch of zombies. Also, you can press the R key while holding down shift. You can swirl them like that, or you can let go of shift and just do that. This is good for like a forest. And then hold down the shift key, and then you can place them some more times. Now, the reason why you would want to copy him like this is because it will save you a lot of grief. All these zombies have the same priorities, so they're all named AI1, and they all don't spawn at start. So this trigger is going to trigger them, and that's all you need to know. That trigger spawning AI is already set up. Let's go over to transportation. In the priorities, you're going to, by default, it's not that. I was testing this before. By default, it is this right here. So by default, you're gonna, whatever it is, you would want to click the three dots here, go down to transportation, .lua, open that. Now it's set up with the transportation script. Triggers can be used to trigger a lot of scripts, but in this tutorial I'm only explaining transportation and spawning of AI. So now once a player walks in, the transportation script is going to activate, but you haven't linked it to an entity. So we're going to link it to house. Now, let's say we did have a house that you can't enter. You could place the transportation zone in front of the house, make it real small so the player has to actually go up to the door, and then on the edge of the map somewhere, out of player view, you could make this kind of setup. This is a sloppy example, but pretty much get what you can do. That would be the door. You would spawn in here, and then that's what you could do. So let's actually do that. I was going to use this rock as an example, but I'm not going to. I'm going to actually place another rock. We're going to scale that down. Now, this only spawns the player. We're only going to spawn the player to the rock. To get out of the house, you would have to set down another trigger, and then you would have to basically do the same process to get out of the house. So in priorities of the rock, we selected the wrong item. In priorities of the rock, we're going to change this to house. So now the transportation trigger is set to direct itself to that rock. And that's it. That's all you have to do for a transportation trigger. Let's get in game and test it out. then we went into the transportation trigger there, and I transported to the rock. And that is all you need to know about transportation and transportation triggers and triggers that activate entities. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.